Southern Downs region of Queensland is well known for its stunning natural beauty. World Heritage listed national parks, spectacular wineries and attractions, and the Southern Downs Regional Council's desire to attract elite level motorsport to Warwick, the home of horsepower. Hello and welcome to round 4 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. Following on from a scintillating weekend back in May at Queensland Raceway, we are once again in the Sunshine State. This time at Morgan Park Raceway, one of the tighter and more technical circuits on the calendar. It's very tight and it's very twisty, and as we take off the line, we head down into the turn 1 area to get on the brakes, and as we heard from Steve Martin, you've got to hold the brakes all the way out to the outside of AMF corner turn 1, quickly change direction again, and Steve, then we head up the hill towards turn 3.
Yeah, we certainly do. A quick shift in the gearbox there, third gear through turn 3, drifting all the way out to the edge of the track. We've seen a couple of guys run off there. Watch out into Motul corner, definitely an overtaking spot. Back down into second gear, banging down through the gearbox, up again into third and fourth gear, then back into second for turn 6, the Yamaha Financial Services. You can overtake into there too. A quick blat on the throttle up to Yamaha revs your heart out, a sharp left, and then you wind your way back towards the finish line through the kink. Motorcycling Australia, the bike can get out of shape through there, change your direction, being careful not to run off the track, and also you've got to be careful, as we've seen in the past there, people diving up at the inside into Kawasaki, one of my favourite corners. You've got to let the brakes off and run in through there, then up through Racing Road and Ducati. You've got that little switchback which leads you to the finish line, and boy oh boy, it's a good feeling when you get there first, Phil, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you've got to get over the crest as well, which is one of the more tricky aspects of this circuit. Try and keep the front wheel down as you head to that start-finish line. And now plenty more action coming up here from Morgan Park. Now we are getting ready for the Race Road Supersport 300 riders. They are out on track. One rider that's making a big impression in 2025, second place in the Australian Championship, and just announces he's heading off to Donington to complete in the Women's World Circuit Racing Championship is Tara Morrison. Chris Vermeulen caught up with her.
Well, here with Tara Morrison, always great to catch up with a woman doing really well in the 300 Championship. How's the season been going for you?
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's going really well. Currently sitting second in the championship. Really far from home here from little Adelaide at Morgan Park. But yeah, setting a pretty good pace so far. Definitely got more in the tank. But yeah, hopefully we can do another good, clean round. Got Phillip Island and Tailem Bend for the last couple of rounds as well. So hopefully we can finish on a really, really high there as well.
You've got a big high coming up. You're going over to race in the FIM World Women's Championship. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to go over there. I'd firstly like to thank Morgan's Cranes, Graham Kavanagh, Dino Motive, Align Ashfell, Carl Cox Motorsport for getting me over to Donington to race with women, the best women in the world. Yeah, we got my R7 here and been preparing for that. So yeah, really keen to see what I can do on an international circuit.
Well, we're very excited to watch you, Tara. We can't wait to see it. Good luck, and good luck for the rest of the season, and good luck for that race.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers. Thank you.
Well, let's have a look now at the AMF highlights of Race Road Supersport 300 race number 2, held earlier on today. And it was a good launch off the line for Scott Nicholson. Immediately into the slipstream was Hudson Thompson on board bike number 41. But a great start from Nick Larzos saw him charge up into second momentarily before Pelgrave took up the running in second early on. And I think that set the tone, Steve, for the entire race.
It certainly did. It was a battle royale up front. It wasn't just 1 or 2. It was like 7 or 8 going for it, with Hudson Thompson having his fair share at diving up the inside too. Scotty Nicholson had to fight for the lead on many occasions, and John Pelgrave, boy, we saw how good he was. Ollie Short went for a wild ride out on the left-hand side of Motul corner there, and managed to rejoin.
Yeah, the Champions Ride Day machine of Jake Page made his way to the front and took his turn at leading the race. You can see here, up the inside, it was Nicholson pushing Page back into second place. And at this time, it was also several riders making their way forward, including his teammate, Riley Nauta, on board bike number 42.
Yeah, Nauta was doing a fantastic job, but it was young Page who gave it everything he could, with Scotty Nicholson trying to drag him past the line. Ollie Short ran out of luck and ended up in the gravel trap, and that was the end of his race. Over the line, it was a close one. Scotty Nicholson thought he won it, but it was the youngster, Page, who got through for the win.
Yeah, not very much in it at all as they came to the line. Jake Page taking the win. Nicholson had to settle for second place. Still leads the championship, though, heading into the third and final race for the Race Road Supersport 300 category this weekend. Nicholson will start from pole. Hudson Thompson will start out of second position, and John Pelgrave, who's had an impressive weekend, will start also on the front row of the grid in third.
Fourth is Nick Larzos. What a race he had earlier on. Tyler King, he's also one to watch, very strong. Matt Ritter, he's been making his notice as well. Ollie Short in seventh. Wow, what a job that he's got to do this time out. Jake Page, well, we saw what he did. He came all the way from eighth through to the lead. Riley Norta in ninth, and 10th, Will Hunt.
Yeah, Tara Morrison will start out of position number 11 as well, so she's got a bit of work to do earlier on, but she did get an awesome start in one of the races today. Have a look at that, 30 riders out there on the grid. We'll keep our eye on that front row. We'll also keep our eye on Tara Morrison charging forward from the fourth row of the grid as we get ready to go racing. Hear the revs start to rise now. Long time on the line. Racing Road 300 is go as they make their way down towards turn one for the first time. Seemed to be a long pause there before they actually got underway, and it is Nicholson that leads the field through turn one. Larzos has got another good start. He's back in third with Pelgrave in second. Just looking to see where our other championship protagonists are. The Champions Ride Day machines are a little bit further back. Tara Morrison looks like she's got off to a reasonable start too, Steve, as they make their way down to Motor Corner for the first time.
But it is Scotty Nicholson who does what he does best, and that is get good starts. The Champions Ride Day Kawasaki's back a lot further than they were in race one today.
Yeah, Phoenix O'Brien also got off to a good start on board the Moto Go machine, bike number 85 as well, as they make their way through Yamaha Corner. So a few creative lines there. The Simpson brothers also back in the field a little bit as well. They haven't done a lot of riding here at Morgan Park. They've been getting faster and faster over the weekend. See this big field making its way through there, including young Kiara Vest, the local rider on board bike number 19, having her second race in this championship after making her debut at Queensland Raceway last time out. Oh, that's one of the Champions Ride Day machines, is it?
It certainly is.
That looks like Jake Page.
Yeah, unfortunately just pushed his luck a little bit too much into that Yamaha corner, and it's all over for young Jake Page. Perhaps he was trying to get forward. He didn't want to see those other guys getting away like they were, and he pushed just too hard too early on.
The good news was it looked like he was getting up and was able to move himself away from the bike. As we go back to the front, it is Nicholson, Pelgrave and Larzos out front, with Thompson closing in from behind. We saw history made last night where his older brother Carter, the first ever Blue Crew Junior Cup champion, was the first Australian to ever win a race in the World Supersport 300 Championship over at the Mazzano circuit in San Marino. And Hudson's doing a great job here this weekend at Morgan Park Raceway. Yes. There's a dejected Jake Page.
Yep, he's not happy with that. Looks like he might have a bit of a sore knee as we look on the Blue Crew replay. He just lost the front in there, and at fairly high speed. He was away from the bike, and you can just see he's pretty disappointed about that. But he has got one win for the day, and he's up there in the championship. So you'll live to fight another day, buddy.
Oh, no, that's that Tommy Nicholson.
Yeah, oh, no, poor old Tommy Nicholson's gone down as well from Victoria. Unfortunately, he used to be a professional cyclist, believe it or not, and decided to take up motorcycle racing.
He decided he needed to go a little bit faster than what the push quite could accommodate for him. Look at this battle too, with the Simpson brothers in there, and they're all well placed in the championship as well, all of these riders. Tara Morrison on board bike number 95 in there too. We just heard from Tara. Exciting times for her heading overseas to compete in that round of the Women's World Circuit Racing Championship at Donington Park. But back to the front, it is Nicholson once again. He's been the consistent front runner in every round so far this year, Steve. That bike number 39, always running at the front. That's the experience of Scott Nicholson, the Victorian multiple champion in this category, is proving once again that he is on his game in 2025.
Just saw that the start was under investigation too. I think that I may have saw somebody jump, but we'll have to wait and see if anybody else did or not. Of course, Supersport 300, proudly supported by Race and Road, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Scotty Nicholson with a little bit of a gap now. He's got the pedal to the metal, and 2 bike length gap in this class is a lot.
Yeah, you can see Tyler King there on board bike number 128, once again doing a great job to work his way forward. See there, coming down through the back end of the the circuit now into this fast area that claimed Jake Page early on in the race. His teammate Riley Nauta is also now starting to make his way forward on board bike number 42. So the two young Queenslanders doing a good job over this weekend.
Definitely a lot more spread out this time, not as big a group as the front. Scotty Nicholson straight into the 24s, which is very, very fast. Hudson Thompson right there behind. Nick Larzos doing a great job this weekend.
Rolling out of the fastest man on the first flying lap, though, back there in about 8th position on board bike number 42. This time around, it's Hudson Thompson that does the fastest lap of the race, a 1:24.106. So Thompson starting to move forward a little bit now. You can see him there riding the bike that Will Nassif used with much success in 2024 in the Race Road Supersport 300 category, and he's now up into 2nd position. Oh, down the inside, Pelgrave on Larzos. That was very close.
Larzos a little bit wide there, just got pushed wide there by Hudson Thompson. Tyler King moves up into that 4th spot as well. Looks to dive up the inside. Nice tight line there by Tyler King.
Very impressive onto that tricky corner at the bottom there for the Yamaha corner. Down the fast area of the circuit we go now. Looking also to Matthew Ritter on board bike number 23 has been impressive this weekend as well. Shown pace across qualifying and all of the races as well. As Thompson goes down the inside of Nicholson, Pelgrave looks to try and follow suit on board bike number 43. He's good at the bottom of the hill here is Pelgrave, and he moves up into 2nd with a slick move up the inside of Nicholson. Nicholson's got the drive out of the hill. Will he try into Race and Road corner? This is a great part of the circuit for Nicholson. He's proven plenty of times in the early race today, Steve, that he is immensely fast into there.
Yeah, absolutely, but he decides better to stay where he is, use the slipstream, save his energy for later on, and that's what he does. Tyler King looks up the inside, can't quite do it there. Larzos moves back in that group a little bit at the moment. Good job by Ollie Short too, when you consider the race one he had earlier on, to be bounce back as good as he has and be in this leading group. Good job.
Yeah, momentarily saw Pelgrave into the lead there. Through. Oh, no, that's Thompson. Thompson is down. You can see he was on the brakes hard, trying to hold out the hard charging John Pelgrave, and he just got it a little bit too wrong. That is the corner where you predicted early on in the weekend, Steve, that we were going to see a lot of action. You can see here, he's trying to tip into the corner, holding on that front brake, and the riders were all over the back of him as well.
Yeah, so
unfortunately, Hudson Thompson down.
Yeah, so close. Pelgrave nearly ran into the back of him there too, but those guys were absolutely pushing on the limit at 24-2 for John Pelgrave.
But also too, if these start carving each other up over the last couple of laps, that could very well play right into Tara's hands now as we set sail down towards the faster area of this circuit. Look, you can see great aerial vision there of the winding nature of this circuit. It's almost a straight with a few corners in it. Then they get to this corner here, which is extremely fast. That would probably be the fastest corner on this circuit. And it's Tyler King that tries to go up the inside of Nicholson. Nicholson sweeps around the outside at Kawasaki corner, and this is where he gets great drive up the hill and through Race and Road and Ducati. That's where he's been very impressive all weekend. How many times has he put overtakes on for the lead, especially in the race this morning, Steve? That was very impressive what he could do there. And you could see that Tyler King, he was fast, but he couldn't get through.
Yeah, it must be disheartening for him though. 9 times out of 10, by the time he gets to the SW Motec corner, it's all over for him.
Rolly Nauta also starting to move forward as well. He's up into 5th position now on board bike number 42. Looking to try and get onto the back of the top 4 that have just made a small breakaway. Larzos hanging on to the back of Pelgrave there desperately as they come through Motul.
Incredible. It's very hard to overtake someone like that as well. It's exactly what Brock Pearson is doing in the Superbike race.
There's Ollie Short desperately trying to hang on to the back of this group as they make their way through Blue Crew now. It is still Tyler King that leads. Nicholson fights back immediately down the inside. Nauta trying to get through as well on board the Champions Ride Day machine, bike number 42. He comes up the inside, but he can't get up to challenge Nick Larzos, who was very, very deep and late into the corner whilst trying to get past Pelgrave at the same time. So we've got 2 Kawasaki Ninjas, then 2 R3s, then we've got another Kawasaki Ninja and R3s at the back of this group as well. The championship over the last 2 years, Steve, has been very, very evenly matched between the 2 motorcycles.
It certainly has. It certainly has.
There's the Simpson brothers and Phoenix O'Brien as well. They're sitting back in 9th, 10th and 11th position.
Phoenix O'Brien just gets the slipstream of both Simpson and makes his way through there.
Tara Morrison's done another fastest lap of the race with a 1:24.316, just ahead of the battle there with the Simpsons and Phoenix O'Brien.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, she needed to get a better start, but she's certainly able to do the lap times on her own, which that's pretty impressive stuff.
And I think she will still hold down second place in the championship, leaving Morgan Park here for a little bit of a break before the final stanza of the season takes place. But here we go, down through the bottom end of the circuit. We're on lap 9.
Riley Norta sitting in there in 4th position, probably in a very good spot. He moves up into 3rd. If he can keep just making his way forward from here, he's going to be in with a good shot. But Palgrave is always going to strike back, you know that.
Fought back immediately. That Riley Norta got back up into 3rd position. So he tries to fight back again, Riley, but he can't quite do it into Racing Road.
Yeah, it's not the place to do it. Not
Last
the place
lap,
to do it.
Last lap board now, Steve. So we've got one circuit of about 3 kilometres of hard braking and trying to get towards the front, and at the moment it is Nicholson that's opened up a little bit of a gap. He could have timed this run to absolute perfection because he's opened up a small gap over Tyler King and in turn a small gap back to Palgrave.
The battle continues between these three. Oh, big move up the inside there. Real good push. And Phoenix O'Brien gets pushed back behind the Simpson brothers.
Bit of gesticulation going on there from Phoenix O'Brien.
Well, not much point in that. Both of those moves were fair moves.
And he needs to hang on to the bars and make sure he can try and come back at it, as the Simpson brothers now have engaged in a little bit of family combat.
Exactly, Geordie Simpson just getting through there, but it is Scott Nicholson who still leads. Tyler King will be thinking right now, I know that I can get him through that right-hand kink just after the MA corner here, the Blue Crew corner into there. He's been very, very strong. He dips on the inside, can't do it this time. Scott Nicholson closes the line down. He's smart.
King up the inside. Can he get through? No, he can't. He's going to have to get the drive out of the final corner. That's a big call because Nicholson is so good out of here. Before this weekend, Tyler King had never been on the podium for a Race Road Supersport 300. He looks like he's going to be in a safe second place now as they come to the line. Can he utilise the slipstream and get a win? No, it is Nicholson. Nicholson will take the win. Tyler King in second. The battle for 3rd eventually goes to Riley Norta on board bike number 42. And then Palgrave will take 4th. Wow, what a race once again from the Supersports Road.
And look at the
Geordie Simpson come across the line there. He's pretty happy with his effort. And Geordie Simpson has to, he has to play second fiddle to his older brother Mitch there as well. As they came across the line, there was .011 between the two brothers as they came across the line.
Well, Riley Norta really deserved that podium with the fastest lap in the last lap, 23.7. Scott Nicholson wins the race. Tyler King in second. Riley Norta, what a great job by him. John Palgrave in 4th. 5th is Matt Ritter. Oliver Short gets a well-deserved 6th.
Yeah, Nick Lazos was in 7th. Tara Morrison in 8th. Mitch Simpson in 9th. Geordie Simpson rounds out your top 10. Both of the brothers getting the better of Phoenix O'Brien in 11th and Nixon Frost in 12th.
Jai Russo 13th. Oscar Lewis in 14th. Isaac Ayad in 15th on the Kawasaki. 16th was Mitch Cartwright. David Coward in 17th. 18th Alvin Wu. Flynn Jacobs down in 19th. And a good ride by Kiara Vest.
It takes 20th position with Elijah Andrew in 21st. Tian Hao Zhao in 22nd. Hudson Thompson in 23rd. Seth Dello in 24th. Unfortunately, Tommy Nicholson, Jake Page also joining Hudson Thompson and Seth Dello in the DNF category. So the top 3 hasn't changed their positions. The points have changed a little bit, and this man has just opened up a little bit more of a championship lead. He will take the round wind as well with 71 points. But Scott Nicholson, 229 points in 1st place in the championship. Tara Morrison in 2nd on 182, and Jake Page in 3rd on 170.
Hudson Thompson, after that crash, remains on 166. Geordie Simpson on 163. Mitch Simpson on 144. Let's head down to Chris with our winners.
Yeah, what a race it was for the Supersport 300 Race and Road category there. And 3rd place, Riley Norta. Congratulations. Fastest lap of the race on the last lap as well.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, well, super excited with this third place. It's been an up and down weekend. Like, I wasn't feeling that good with my times yesterday. I felt good on the bike. The whole team, they've been so supportive and they've made the bike perfect. I don't know, it's one of my home tracks and I just didn't feel too good out there, but yeah, it's great to get on the podium.
Well, you really deserved it. Congratulations again. Well done.
Thank you.
There goes our third place man and second place. What a race it was by Tyler King. Well done. Rode hard out there.
You know, it was a real close race. I gave it everything, but I just got edged out again. But I just want to make a massive thank you for the whole Portbike crew. I mean, they jumped on, I think, last round, and without them, definitely wouldn't be up here on the box. So big thanks to them, and Gavin and the whole crew from coming over New Zealand to support me means heaps, and finally got it done.
Great to see. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. That's our second place man and our race winner and championship leader, Scott Nicholson. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chris. That was a very hectic race. The boys were putting a lot of pressure on me, and honestly, I'm just happy I came away with that one. It was not looking like it with a couple laps to go, and pulled something out of the hat and made it work.
Well, you definitely did. Congratulations again. Very well deserved.
Thanks, Chris.
There you go. That's our podium finishes for the Race and Road Supersport 300.
Well, plenty more action coming up here from Morgan Park Raceway. Back shortly. Welcome back to the Southern Downs region of Queensland, Queensland's capital of gastronomic delights. Fine dining or fine wine, the Southern Downs region has got something for you. As we're back at Morgan Park in Warwick in Queensland, the horsepower capital of Queensland, and it's the last race of the day for the Blue Crew Junior Cup. Great to see the young riders putting on a good performance at this very tricky track as well. Of course, last time out, was a little bit different at Queensland Raceway, a very different circuit. Now, starting grid looks like this. Chaz Williams, Rossi McAdam and Connor Lewis, who have all featured at the front, will start from the front row of the grid with Xavier Kermy victorious in yesterday's first race, Jai Strugnall and Tom Cameron on the second row of the grid.
Third row of the grid's Hunter Charlotte, Jed Lewis and Crew Knight. Fourth row, Gage Plowman, Callum Campbell and Ethan Pelgrave. 13th is Liam Fuchs. 14th, Charlie Nichols and Stevie Middlebrook from Western Australia, the only girl out there on the track.
Yeah, Kale Bryant will start out of position number 16. Finn Mellerick in there as well in 17th position, all the way back to about 18th or 19th position on the grid. But yes, Rossi McAdam has certainly been, well, very good here at Morgan Park. Probably pays a little bit of a weight penalty too, because he is quite a bit taller than both Chaz Williams and so some of the other front runners that we've seen this weekend, including Connor Lewis on board bike number 77. You can see there the size differential as we're ready to go racing for the final time this weekend for the Blue Crew Junior Cup. Junior Cup is go. Good start there from the front row of the grid. Oh, look, an excellent start from the third row of the grid. Couldn't quite pick up who that was. That rider was charging forward and left the rest of the riders on the third row in their wake as they made their way down towards turn one. It could have even been Jai Strugnall on board bike number 99, because I think he's up into about 5th position, Steve, as they make their way through turns 1 and 2 for the first time, and then work our way through turn 3 underneath the bridge and down to Modal Corner turn 1.
Yeah, really, really good start for him. But already up the inside goes Connor Lewis and knocks Chaz Williams just back down to that second spot. So Connor Lewis takes the lead.
Yeah, it is Jai Strugnall. He's up into 5th position already on board bike number 99.
Yeah.
If he can get away with those leaders, who knows what the South Australians are going to be able to conjure up here. But we've seen Connor Lewis and Chaz Williams dicing at the front with Rossi McAdam pretty much all of the races so far this weekend. Xavier Kermy was there in the race yesterday, but unfortunately wasn't quite close enough to the front to challenge for the lead in the race earlier on today.
It's, everyone just nice clean start, which is very, very good to see. But out front, it is Rossi McAdam in that third spot with Hunter Charlotte up there doing the great job. Chaz Williams is going down through the field. What's going on with Chaz Williams?
So unless he's run off the field, I couldn't quite see. I missed that as they made their way down the back straight. As they come through there, that is Chaz Williams, look like at the front of the field on board bike number 18. So I'd say it is a
timing monitor
issue.
Okay.
He's definitely at the front of the field there. You can see bike number 18 certainly well and truly in there. That timing issue has been rectified now. But it is Xavier Kermy up into the lead on board bike number 82.
Oh, he's wide there. Kermy is super wide.
Oh, how wide? Was a couple of the riders there.
Well, all of them are using that super wide line, aren't they?
There was more dust getting thrown up there than what there will be at the ProMX meeting next weekend. Of course, this is the first weekend of Warwick Bike Week. ASBK this weekend, ProMX next weekend. Lots of horsepower coming out of Warwick over the 7 days that we're looking at the moment with, well, it's going to be hopefully a yearly event now, Warwick Bike Week, and it's great to be the first weekend of action.
Yeah, absolutely. So good to be a part of it in the opening event in the program. So we're really happy for that. But it is Xavier Kermy who's having a great ride at the moment on his number 82 machine. And Connor Lewis has just dropped back down into that third spot at the moment with Chaz Williams right up there as well, going round the outside as they head into the Blue Crew corner. And Jai Strugnall right there in that fourth spot.
Oh, you'd be happy to see bike number 99 charging forward, Steve.
Well, sort of the reason he's got that number sort of stems from me. So his dad chose 99 because I ran it. So there you go. Good to see it up there.
And good to see Jai carrying on the form of his dad, who was a star in many different classes of the ASBK Championship just a couple of years ago. So as we go across the line now to complete the first flying lap, it is Connor Lewis that led them out of Ducati corner. Was he still hanging on to the lead as they went across? Yes, by 0.039 of a second over Chaz Williams. But the fastest rider on track in that first flying lap was actually sixth place rider Tom Cameron on board bike number 23 with a 1:37.1.
Yeah, good to see Tom Cameron in that lead group just in front of Hunter Charlotte. But right now it is the number 99 who dives up the inside and takes the lead. Jai Strugnall leads the race.
Now, I don't think I've actually remembered him leading a race in the Blue Crew Junior Cup in the past, so this could be the first time he's actually got his nose in front in an actual race. Doing a good job as well, but Lewis just comes straight back and relegates Jai back into second position. Xavier Kermy also well placed on board bike number 82 as these 6 bikes just managed to make a little bit of a breakaway.
Yes, a slight break, not too much, because I mean, look at the size of that group. It's pretty big. There's what, 7 or 8 people in it.
There's seven people in that group, and then Crew Knight is the leader of the next group, some 5.1 seconds behind this lead group as they fan out. There's 7 riders in the group, Steve. They fan out 7 abreast into Kawasaki corner at the bottom of the hill. A big look over the shoulder there from Connor Lewis, and all he saw was half the Blue Crew Oceania Cup Junior field right on his tail.
Yeah, not much point looking behind you. You just know they're going to be there, don't you?
Have a look at that next group as well. Crew Knight, Gage Plowman, Callum Campbell, Jed Louis, Ethan Pelgrave all in that group. Then Charlie Nichols back in 13th position is the leader of the next group behind that group as well.
It's really tight through there. Really tight. Looks like Xavier Kermy almost had to stand it up there as they head through turn 3, down the hill, tucked in. Good overtaking opportunities into Motul corner, and around the outside goes Connor Lewis.
Well, I think they were all a lot more economical with their track usage on the way out of turn 2, which got them through turn 3 pretty quick. But Connor Lewis was so good on the brakes into Motul corner turn 4, and that's what's enabled him to open up this little bit of a lead over Chaz Williams.
Oh, very, very tight there from... pretty sure that was Xavier Kermy again.
Rossi McAdam looks like he's also on a bit of a move forward as well. He's now moved up into a 3rd place. You can see all the size disadvantage of Rossi McAdam. He's probably one of the older riders in this field as well. He's also done a little bit of racing on board a Supersport 300, looking to move on from the Blue Crew Junior Cup next year. And you can see him get absolutely swamped down the long winding back section of the circuit through Blue Crew corner, and now into Kawasaki. It is Chaz Williams that takes the lead on board bike number 18.
Yeah, we've seen Chaz Williams at the lead of many of these races, haven't we? He's a superstar of the future, doing a fantastic job, and it's just proven that the level of this class is just so high.
The fastest lap of the race, still Tom Cameron's effort on lap 2, a 1:37.139. All of them in that lead group are consistently in the 1:38s, but Xavier Kermy has just uncorked a 1:37.8 to be the fastest rider in that lead group.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive lap time. Also saw Tom Cameron just went into turn 1, the SW Motec corner. Super tight, but had to back off. He didn't quite get through, but he's trying all sorts of different lines out there.
Oh, Joe Strugnell back into the lead as well on board bike number 99, runs a fraction wide on the exit of the corner. Lewis tries to come back immediately. He's going to have to wait to Yamaha corner. He's on the outside, so he'll have the inside running into Yamaha and gets up the inside. Strugnell back to second. McAdams still sits in third place. I think there's been a couple of position changes there over that last lap. But he's in exactly the same position as he was at this position on the circuit last time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does look like that group... Oh, we got a faller, unfortunately.
Yep, that's someone down on the exit of Yamaha corner. That's another corner that's claimed a lot of victims this weekend, including Marcus Hammett in the earlier Kawasaki Supersport race.
Yeah, not 100% sure who that is at the moment, but we will find out.
So here's a Blue Crew replay.
Oh,
you can see there, just hit the back end of the rider in front and got sent well and truly over the high side. That's bike number 23.
Yeah, that's that was Thomas Cameron that went down in that lead group.
Yeah, he was the rider that set the fastest lap of the race earlier on as well.
Yeah.
So that's a big threat for the race win out of this lead group. And a red flag. So a red flag after 5 laps of the 6-lap race. I think you'll find that we will be looking at a race that has been declared there. So they can get out and attend to Tom Cameron there. Congratulations to Chaz Williams, your race winner by 0.199 of a second over Xavier Kermy. Jai Strugnell in third, Connor Lewis in fourth, Hunter Charlotte in fifth.
Rossi McAdam gets that 6th spot. 7th is Jed Lewis. Gage Plowman in 8th. 9th was Callum Campbell. And Crew Knight takes that 10th spot.
Ethan Pelgrave in 11th. Adam Jordan in 12th. Leo Darling in 13th. Stevie Middlebrook, great ride from her, up into 14th position ahead of Charlie Nichols in 15th. Liam Fuchs in 16th. Cale Bryan in 17th. Finn Mellerick in 18th. And Tom Cameron, unfortunately, that big crash. Connor Lewis will be your round victor with 65 points. Championship points look like this, though. Chaz Williams' lead has been narrowed back now to 8 points over Connor Lewis in second position. Rossi McAdam has moved up into third after a solid weekend. Xavier Kermy in fourth, and Hunter Charlotte rounds out your top 5 with Jai Strugnell in 6th, Gage Plowman in 7th, Jed Louis in 8th, Tom Cameron in 9th, and Ethan Pelgrave rounds out your top 10. Oh, what a weekend it's been racing so far here at Morgan Park. That SW Motec Superbike race, Chris, absolutely unbelievable. Now it's time to have a short break. We'll be back with Shop Yamaha R3 Cup up next.
I have no explanation, twisted games and tricks.
Planning the perfect escape? The Southern Downs region has got everything you need to relax and disconnect from everyday life in a beautiful, natural setting. And welcome back to Morgan Park, because we have one race left on today's, extensive program, and that is the third and final race for the Shop Yamaha R3 Cup. Here's your starting grid. Hudson Thompson will start from the front row of the grid with Seth Dello and John Pelgrave joining him in positions 1, 2 and 3.
Nicholas Larzos, Jay Russo and William Hunt are your row 2.
Nixon Frost, Phoenix O'Brien and Geordie Simpson on row 3.
Row 4 will be Matt Ritter, Oscar Lewis and David Coward.
Rossi McAdam, Lincoln Knight and Alvin Wu out of positions 14, 15 and 16, with Flynn Jacobs, Mitch Cartwright, Kiara Vest, the local Queenslander in 19th on board bike number 19. Then it's Tian Hao Zhao, Mark Shaw, Zach Russo and Adam Jordan rounding out the 24 bike field.
Yeah, massive field of R3s in this Shop Yamaha R3 Cup race. Can't wait to get it underway.
There is Hudson Thompson. That is the bike that Will Nassif rode last year. Of course, became available when Will Nassif stepped up to the Kawasaki Supersport field this year. As we're ready to go racing for the final time here at Morgan Park. Shop Yamaha R3 Cup, race number 3. R3 Cup is go. Looked like a pretty good start there from John Pelgrave on board bike number 43, and he's already trying to find a way up the inside of Hudson Thompson as they go through turn 1. Nick Larzos follows him through as well, relegating our poleman back to 3rd position.
Whoa,
So big start. Oh, is that one of the Simpson brothers there? Was very creative in his lines all the way out onto the concrete on the exit of SW Motec corner turn 2.
Good start by South Australian Seth Dello as well in 4th position there.
A lot of South Australians on a charge in this one because the Simpson brothers are very well placed as well. And as usual, they haven't done a lot of laps here at Morgan Park in Queensland, but they have been getting faster and faster as the weekend goes on. I think that's Mitch now up into about 4th position and not too far behind younger brother Geordie.
Interesting, a few of the riders that have jumped on these bikes have just jumped off their Blue Crew Junior bikes. Chiara Vest is not one of the ones, but I think I see Oscar Lewis as an example, and Elijah Andrew, both in the other championship and this championship, so doubling up.
So down towards the bottom end of the circuit we come. There's Geordie Simpson on board bike number 33. Mitch Cartwright also there on board bike number 63, battling in for 15th position with Lincoln Knight. But it is Nick Larzos that leads them out of Ducati corner and across the line for the first time in this 8-lap race. So Larzos on 11 leads from Pelgrave, who got a very good jump off the line and led them through turn 1. Down the inside, I think Hudson Thompson was trying to find his way past Pelgrave. Pelgrave was just too late on the brakes into AWMF corner. And Mitch Simpson is now up into 4th place, Steve. So working his way forward over that first lap, he could well be a factor in the end of this race.
Well, he does like to lead it. John Pelgrave is so impressive on the front end. He really does dive into every corner like it's the last lap. A great job there. I've really noticed it this weekend that's his style, but he pulls it off. He hasn't made too many mistakes.
Nicholas Larzos is also having a great weekend as well, now back up into a 2nd position. Phoenix O'Brien also making his way forward on the Moto Go Yamaha up into 5th place as well. Board bike number 85, you can see him there with the blue and white. That's his Blue Crew Junior Cup leathers, I think, still getting a solid workout for Phoenix O'Brien. You can see many of the riders, when they graduate from the Blue Crew Junior Cup, wear those leathers for years to come.
They do.
The Recondi leathers are very high quality product.
So Nick Larzos out front at the moment. I think he's liking it up the front, isn't he?
He's had that little taste at the last round and can't get enough of it now, and he's had a great weekend this weekend as they come across the line. So that's 2 laps in a row now that Larzos has led them across the line. Fastest man on the first flying lap as we wait for the timing monitor to update is actually Matthew Ritter back in 6th position with a 1:24.7. So excellent first couple of laps there from Matthew Ritter, who's moved his way forward, and he's sitting in 6th place, well and truly in this lead group now as they make their way down into Motor Corner. Oh, big crash. That is a very big crash. Looks like bike number 83, Alvin Wu, involved in that one as well.
And
Elijah Andrew, yep. So Elijah Andrew looking to try and pick his bike up. A lot of dust being thrown up there in that incident. Couldn't quite pick up where it was though, Steve. Looked like it was relatively early in the lap. Turn 1 was the scene of that crash. You called it early in the weekend, saying that was a place where it was very hard to try and get in there, and you called it when Archie McDonald was in there on the brakes as well. As we see it, that's the end of that incident there. I'm not sure if they came in contact or whether Elijah Andrew crashed in sympathy.
Well, I think, 3 riders definitely got caught up in that anyway, but unfortunately for them, that's the end of their day. Back at the front, Nick Larzos has drifted back into 2nd place, and it's John Pelgrave who leads the way, but we know the slipstream effect down this straight, and it looks like it is Mitch Simpson who's going to make his way into the lead.
No, Matthew Ritter. Ritter up the inside. I thought he may have made a bid for the lead, but sweeping around the outside. Johnny Pelgrave. He's been like, oh, that is so close underneath the bridge. That is a big move.
That was a good camera shot too.
Oh, it was perfect. Whoever was doing that cutting of position there changed it absolutely perfectly on time to see that move going underneath the bridge. The bridge camera is a great effect. Oh, they're now 3 and 4 wide as they make their way down through Pirelli and Yamaha.
It's getting a little bit hectic out there at the moment, isn't it?
It is. It is very, very close, and they're not really worried about too much on fast lines. They're just all trying to get to the front because some of the lines have been, well, let's just say somewhat creative.
Very creative. Here's Mitch Simpson, who is right up at the sharp pointy end at the moment, but we know that John Pelgrave will have something to say about that. Around the outside goes Nicholas Lazos, quite can't pull it off.
So Ritter tries up the inside, gets the better of Lazos, couldn't quite get past Pelgrave as well. They make their way through Kawasaki and up to Racing Road. They'll be coming round to complete 4 laps, so that will be half race distance. Here comes Geordie Simpson as well, on board bike number 33, trying to charge forward to match his brother. I think going into the second race this morning, they were actually tied on championship points, the Simpson brothers. So Mitch back to second place now as Pelgrave goes into the lead. Through SW Motec they go. You can see the shadows starting to lengthen there, and turn 2 pretty much all underneath the shadows, and then they come out into the bright sunshine as they make their way through turn 3 and down into Motul corner turn 4. Very tricky corner that comes way back on itself.
Pelgrave out front at the moment, again in front of Mitch Simpson. Matt Ritter doing a great job up there. Phoenix O'Brien's up near the front too. Nicholas Lazos has just drifted back just that bit at the moment.
Yeah, Oscar Lewis back in 9th position, just doing his fastest lap of the race, as did Nixon Frost in 11th position. Lincoln Knight and Mitch Cartwright as well on the last lap, setting their fastest laps of the race.
Hudson Thompson at the back of that group at the moment, 0.8 off the lead. There he is on the number 41 machine.
Now, keep your eye on Seth Dello, the rider that you mentioned before too, Steve. He's made his way up into 6th position. You can see the bright red machine there, bike number 34, starting to move forward right at the right time in this race.
Yeah, well, he did start on the front row of the grid. He sort of moved his way back, but now he's starting to make his way forward. He needs to, because there's only 3 laps to go.
So across the line they come. It is still Mitch Simpson leading. He led across the line last time. Pelgrave immediately went back into the lead at turn 1, AWMF corner, but no such repeat of the last lap for John Pelgrave now, as he has to settle in 3rd position as Lazos in 2nd. Then it's Phoenix O'Brien on board bike number 85 back there in 4th. Lazos in 5th. Up the inside goes Pelgrave. Couldn't quite get through on Ritter, who's now gone into the lead on board bike number 23.
I bet he likes the feeling of that. That's what he'll be thinking right now. Good job by Matt Ritter there. And 3 or 4 wide into Yamaha Financial Services. And
unfortunately, when you lick Nick Lazos and you're on the edge of that 3 wide, you're going to get stood up and have to take evasive action.
Yeah, Phoenix O'Brien with a 24.3, pretty impressive lap time. Times are good out there. That's fast.
So late afternoon, the shadows now starting to go over the bottom end of the circuit as well. You can see the sun flickering through the trees. Down through the inside comes Mitch Simpson on board bike number 66. Didn't get the greatest drive out of that bottom corner, and I think Pelgrave may have... it's Ritter that's gone up the inside as they make their way into Racing Road corner, but fighting back immediately is Mitch Simpson.
Yeah, good job there by Mitch. And look at Geordie Simpson. He's made his way right up into contention now too.
So Geordie is well and truly in this mix. Seth Dello up the inside as well, just muscling Phoenix O'Brien out of the way. The lines are getting even more creative now, Steve, as we get into the dying stages of this race. 2 more laps to go for the final race of the Shop Yamaha R3 Cup field as they make their way through turn 3 and down into Motul corner turn 4. It is Ritter still in the lead. Around the outside is Mitch Simpson on board bike number 66.
Matt Ritter from Victoria doing a fantastic job near the front of this race at the moment. Only a couple of laps to go, or a lap to go really, until he can maybe pull off a podium.
Yeah, I think Phoenix O'Brien got muscled up a little bit there in the first stage of this race. Was that Dello right out onto the ripple strip? Got the full hippie shakes. In fact, no, I think it might have been Oscar Lewis on board bike number 56.
Yeah, I'm not too sure which rider it was. It would have been all of them at one point in time, because they are on the absolute limit at the moment as
Ritter.
Whoa.
How did he stay on track there?
I don't know, but that definitely wasn't the fast way through there. But he hasn't really let it bother him too much as he slipped into the back of that pack now. But perhaps
Lewis is trying to make his way past him now on the run up the hill.
yeah, it looks like he may have lost his chance of a podium, but Mitch Simpson exactly where he needs to be. Let's have a look on the replay what's actually happened here. In the background there, he's gone wide around the outside, and that is what he's done. He hasn't left enough room, and he's clipped the back of Mitch Simpson, which has lost a whole lot of speed. Not the way to go through that corner, but that is a lucky escape.
It is, and last lap now for the riders in the Shop Yamaha R3 Cup. Well, if the last couple of laps are anything to go by, this one is going to be everything on the line for all of these riders. And it's still Mitch Simpson that's managing to lead at the moment. But Oscar Lewis has moved into the top 3 at perfect timing.
Yeah, he certainly has. And if you just look in the background there, we've got the number 11 as well of Nicholas Lazos there. Another faller. That looks like it's Nixon Frost.
Yep, I think it is Nixon on board bike number 99 as he'll start to tumble down the timesheets. But it is still Mitch Simpson holding on to the lead. I'll tell you what, if any of these young hard chargers are going to try and outsmart Mitch Simpson, they're going to have to do it over the next couple of corners, because Mitch Simpson, the one thing he's got on these riders is just a little bit more experience, so he'll be able to position himself correctly. But can he deal with the outright speed this weekend of John Palgrave? Yes, he can at Kawasaki Corner.
Yep, there's still got to get through the Ducati flip-flop, and we know that you can dive up the inside there, but he's got really good drive, and then he's got to contend with the slipstream up to the finish line. He's got a good drive out of there with Palgrave in the back. He's in the slipstream. Can Palgrave get past? No, he can't. And it is Mitch Simpson who takes the win.
Yeah, look at that. The excitement from Mitch Simpson. He knows how important that was for the championship as well. Mitch Simpson, what a ride from the South Australian there on board bike number 66. Under immense pressure. Immense pressure for the last couple of laps of the race from John Palgrave, who finished in second place. Nicholas Lazos will take another podium in third. A big weekend for Nicholas Lazos. Matthew Ritter, who led a lot of the race, also in fourth position. Oscar Lewis in fifth. Phoenix O'Brien in sixth. Hudson Thompson in seventh place. Geordie Simpson will have to settle for eighth. And Seth Dello and Jai Russo round out your top 10.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty exciting race and a good way to round it all up here at Morgan Park.
The eventual winning margin, Steve, 0.086 of a second. I think if you added up the combined 3 winning margins for that class over this weekend, it would not equal more than a couple of tenths of a second.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
So Mitch Simpson takes the win over John Palgrave. Nicholas Lazos will join them on the podium. Matthew Ritter just misses out in fourth. Oscar Lewis in fifth, and Phoenix O'Brien in sixth.
Hudson Thompson in seventh. Eighth is Geordie Simpson. Seth Dello in ninth, and Jai Russo in that 10th spot. Rossi McAdam from Western Australia 11th. 12th was David Coward, and 13th Lincoln Knight. 14th Mitch Cartwright. 15th Tian Zhao.
Mark Shaw in 16th position. Chiara Vest in 17th. All the way back to Nixon Frost in 18th position, eventually getting to the finish line, and Adam Jordan, the final finisher, in 19th position. So congratulations to Mitch Simpson, and Nicholas Lazos will actually win the round on 60 points ahead of Hudson Thompson on 59 and John Palgrave on 55. So that'll be Nicholas Lazos' first ever round win in the Shop Yamaha R3 Cup.
Wow, that is super impressive for the young Victorian.
So championship points, Mitch Simpson will be now leading on 146 ahead of Nicholas Lazos, who's moved into second place on 133, 6 points ahead of Mitch's younger brother Geordie, who rounds out the top 3. Only 6 points behind Lazos in second. It is very, very interesting. You can see it there. 146 to 133. 127 for Geordie Simpson. Hudson Thompson has slipped back to fourth place. John Palgrave has moved up into fifth. Oscar Lewis in sixth. Phoenix O'Brien in seventh. Ritter in eighth. Lincoln Knight in ninth. And Nixon Frost rounds out your top 10. Wow, what a race, Chris. Absolutely unbelievable. Our top 3 are going to be so excited.
Yeah, what a race it was. The Shop Yamaha R3 Cup always is exciting action, and Nicholas Lazos, congratulations with third place and the overall round win.
Thank you so much. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who came here to support me this weekend. Thank you, Dennis, for flying all the way up from Melbourne to see me. And look, good racing from everyone else. I did get a quick setback during the race. I think I went back to 6th or 7th. And then last corner, I just had to get in the inside of Oscar Lewis for the right-left. or else I wouldn't have come third. So I just had to go for it.
As well, though. Good luck at the next round as well.
Thank you so much.
There goes our third place man, Nick Glazos. Second place, John Pelgrave. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was a tough race. All the boys battled hard. Yeah, just surprised to be on the podium, to be honest with you.
We love it. It's exciting all the way. And, yeah, congratulations all weekend. You've been strong.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just like to thank everyone that's helped me out this year. Marty's Moto, Bridgestone, Yamaha, Race Road, Recondi, Western Automotive. They've all helped me a whole heap. Mum and Dad also, just being in my ear the entire time, helping me out. Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Second place man, John Pelgrave. And the winner, he made it hard for himself, starting on, I think, the third row of the grid, but he had to pass a lot of guys. Always a smile on his face. Mitch Simpson, congratulations.
Nah, cheers to that, Chris. That was a bloody humdinger of a race. It's taken me a while to get there, but that last race I just felt like I was comfortable, like everything was just working. So it's good to leave on a high. It keeps you going for the next round, keeps the motivation going. So it's good to do that. I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Shoei Sims and Crash Sims and Signs, Yamaha and JBD Property Services. Cheers to that.
There you go, our race winner, Mitch Simpson for the Blue Crew, for the Shop Yamaha R3 Cup.
Thanks very much, Chris. Congratulations to Mitch Simpson. As he said, he's been trying to get there all weekend. Of course, he hasn't been doing a lot of riding here at Morgan Park, so good result for him at the end of the day. We move on now to round 5 at Queensland Raceway. Superbikes only with the supercars over the weekend of the 8th to the 10th of August. Then it's the full circus back to Phillip Island on the 6th and 7th of September for round 6 of the championship. Round 7, the penultimate round, the long weekend in New South Wales on the 3rd to the 5th of October at One Raceway in New South Wales. And then this traditional season-ending finale at the Bend Motorsport Park, round 8 on the 7th to the 9th of November. For more information, go to asbk.com.au. And of course, next weekend, the second weekend of Warwick Bike Week in Queensland, the ProMX Championship rolls into Warwick for a big round here just across the way at the Motocross track. And that will be the final event in Warwick Bike Week for 2025. Well, plenty more action coming up over the next couple of months for both the ASBK and ProMX Championships. We can't wait to catch you in Queensland for the next round of the 2025 My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul.